Mute your mic, are essential.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watchman is here with your latest update on the tropics. We're going to be talking about Tropical Storm Bonnie, which transitioned into the East Pacific, and it is intensifying. Now winds are up to 50 miles per hour at the latest advisory. We also have Tropical Storm Colin, as you can see right here, right over land. It actually formed over land, brown ocean effect there. It is just sort of falling apart as it continues to move northeast across the Carolinas. Today, I do have a few people who are going to be joining us today. Would y'all like to introduce yourselves?
Yes. My name is Cairo, and I've been inside the past 5 or 4 streams. I'm extremely excited to bring you guys today's weather forecast.
Yeah, my name is Sector. As you know, I've been in the last few streams, and I am very excited to bring you today's weather forecast.
We have one more person. We have a new person here. I was going to see if they wanted to. One more person. We have a new person here. I was going to see if they wanted. We have a new person.
Hello?
I was going to see if they wanted. You are.
Wait.
We can hear a big echo. You are.
It's a big echo.
No.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
He just left the call.
But he's out of here, bro. He's out of here.
He just left the call.
All right, we're just gonna continue on. So here's the system, as you can see it right there, right off, just inland there, north. I'd say that's northeast South Carolina, there near Myrtle Beach. Most of the heavy rain is far away from the system. There's really no heavy showers even remotely part of the system anymore. It really looks like just a cluster of low clouds at this point. The storm is just falling apart over land. 40 miles per hour right now. It's going to continue moving over the rest of South Carolina and North Carolina, and that's going to become a remnant low over the northwestern or over the western Atlantic as the storm continues to move off to the northeast. Not much of a threat. I mean, I would say flooding. Most tropical storms bring a lot of heavy rain, but this one, really, there really is no rain at all associated with this system at all, which is very, very rare to see. What do y'all say?
I believe that there's some wind shear, probably disorganizing the system.
Yeah, I would certainly say there's some wind shear. The storm doesn't look good. From what I can tell, the storm is just falling apart, and at this rate, it's gonna become a depression. Probably before it even leaves the North Carolina coast, it's going to become a depression, and eventually a remnant low. It's just falling apart. It's not able to organize itself together anymore. It looked really good when it was coming off the coast of Georgia and into South Carolina, but now it's just falling apart. It looks absolutely terrible. We're going to look at radar here in this area, and so we're going to talk about what we got here with this system in terms of rain and flooding and stuff like that. So I'm going to turn this off.
And the LLC is so far away from the rest of the system, and there's no sort of convection boost as well.
Almost like the low pressure has been over South Carolina like all day. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it has. It moved into South Carolina. I want to say like early this morning, or something. Live scan, and then we're gonna do the past hour.
Yeah, in my eyes, this just looks like a well-defined tropical wave per se.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like a storm, honestly.
Yeah.
In terms of radar, hold up. Let me just do something right quick. Radar control.
Was there any recon done?
I don't think so. There doesn't look like a recon has gone through. But this is what we got in the past hour with the tropical system, as you can see. all of the shower activity is just off the coast, rotating around the low level circulation. Uh, Storm looks absolutely terrible with what we got right here.
This
So,
reminds me of Tropical Storm Marco.
oh yeah, Marco, when it made landfall-ish in like Louisiana, and it was moving west across the north central Gulf, it was terrible. It was a heavily wind sheared system. It had a low level swirl that was exposed. And I think the Weather Channel was saying that even if this system, the center, moves over you, chances are of you getting rain from that are little because all the wind shear was so strong it was pushing all the wind or all the rain and most of the stormy activity to the northeast of the center of circulation. And the center of circulation just had an exposed swirl.
Yeah, this storm is just destroying its own self, per se. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we got with this system right now. Doesn't look very good, but you can see the system. You can't see the convection. Some of the rain trying to wrap around the system, but it's really all that rain is off the coast of South Carolina and North Carolina. There's a little bit of onshore flow going on right here. I do want to talk a little bit about that. You can see that there's a little bit of there's a little bit of onshore flow going on right here. And so you might get some moisture moving through like this. Something like this roughly. And so there's a little bit of onshore flow in this portion of North Carolina. Not a lot, obviously, as you can tell. Not a lot of onshore flow. Very, very undefined system. Not very well defined at all. Doesn't look very good. Looks like the center circulation might be broadening, if anything. That's what I think. Center circulation's just not well defined. And it really doesn't bring much of a threat. I mean, some pockets of heavy rain along the coast. I think it's going to be the biggest threats with this system. I don't really want to talk a lot about this system. I mainly want to talk a little bit more about Bonnie, as it is now, I think, the first storm to cross basins and keep the same name since Tropical Storm Otto. Is it Otto in 2016? Otto?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we have here. As you can see, if we come all the way down here, I don't know what its intensity is. 50 miles an
And
hour.
I'm just looking at Zoom Earth on Tropical Storm Colin, and the wind speeds are not even a threat to land because it's so disorganized.
Yeah, Colin is admittedly disgusting right now. It's terrible. And I don't think it's going to really organize. It was a very quick system, quickly flared up, and I think from right now it's just going to fall apart from here on out because of wind shear.
Tropical Storm Bertha 2.0 is what it really was.
Yeah. Bertha was...
Yeah, and to the southwestern side of the system, I found max peak winds at 43 kilometers per hour, so very disorganized.
Yeah, not anywhere near where it needs to be for classified as a tropical storm. I actually want to go to the National Hurricane Center right now and see if they have upgraded this system to beyond just tropical. No, this is glitching again. Alright, it's smooth again. WSV3 is just a really laggy because it takes up a huge amount of computing power. I do want to go to the National Hurricane Center and take a look and see what we got here with the latest advisory. So,
at the LLC of Tropical Storm Bonnie, like the winds are so much stronger. The winds are at 85 kilometers per hour, so it is strengthening intensively.
So this is the latest update from the National Hurricane Center. No, it's not. This is 4 p.m. still, and it's weird. 50 miles an hour, 1,000 millibars. 4 p.m. There are watches and warnings. There should be watches and warnings in effect. So we should have gotten an update by now. Oh no, there's no more watches and warnings in effect. So the next update is probably not going to be until 10 p.m. Well, that's certainly interesting. Again, they are expecting this to peak at about 75 knots, and that's going to be at around 80 miles per hour. Yeah, Superstorm Sandy was a catastrophe. It was horrible for New York, obviously. This is what we got here. I mean, I don't even really need to talk about it. The flooding from this is going to be very, very little. There's a very low probability of any kind of flooding happening at all. Again, most of the heaviest rain from Colin is going to be staying offshore. You know, maybe 1 inch isolated areas in North Carolina may see half an inch, maybe up to an inch. But from what I'm seeing right here, some of the heaviest rain could be up to half a foot of rain, and that's going to stay off the coast of North Carolina. 1 inch, 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, you know, maybe even all the way up to, 4 to 6 inches of rain will stay off the coast. So not a whole lot will be happening with the remnants of Colin, I think. It's going to just fall apart from here on out. I'm going to go back to my home screen.
No recon done for Tropical Storm Bonnie in the last 6 hours. No recon done.
I mean, it's moving out to sea, so I don't think they're really going to need to do recon right now, because it's moving out to sea, and so a recon won't really be necessary. So as you can see here is Bonnie. You can clearly see deep thunderstorm activity with this. So you can see it rotating there. If I go over to the visible shortwave, you can see almost an eye kind of developing there and then being covered up by convection once again. So there's, clearly lots of deep thunderstorm activity. The storm is really starting to look a lot better organized now that it's coming off the coast of Nicaragua. Still lots of heavy rain up here in portions of Nicaragua, Honduras, Costa Rica down here, and probably even Panama down there too. There's probably a lot of heavy rain occurring there too. So I really don't think there's going to be a lot of other impacts with this system besides heavy rain, flash flooding, mudslides, and also landslides.
Yeah, it's really trying to progress into a hurricane, because you can see that eye trying to form.
Yeah, it's almost like a little eye trying to form, as you can see right there. I do think this storm is going to become a little bit more, is going to try to intensify as it moves over the Western Caribbean, the East Pacific Ocean. We were talking about the West Caribbean Ocean for the Caribbean would felt like forever, for like weeks, because I remember this storm would just took forever. But now that's in the Pacific, it's just blowing up like crazy. It's just convecting. There's lots of convection going on right now, and the storm is looking a lot better and a lot more healthy and a lot more organized right now.
Yeah, and the climate is very favorable for intensifying.
I do want to look at some models here for the East Pacific and kind of just talk about where this system's going to go. Again, this won't really be impacting anybody. As you can see, it's going to be moving away, sort of riding the coast of Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, and then eventually riding the coast of Mexico, and then moving out to sea, and eventually falling apart and dissipating. As that system does dissipate, the GFS, again, this is 140, 150 hours out, so really take this all with a grain of salt. And it does show another system developing. Tries to make it a pretty intense system there. As you can see, 968 millibars. Again, this is way out to sea, so it's not going to be really impacting anybody at all. So that's what we have with that. Not a whole lot going on with what we have there in the Eastern Pacific. Same with the Caribbean, same with the North Atlantic Ocean. A lot of shear, a lot of dry air. Doesn't really show any kind of well-developed system or any kind of systems developing within the next 2 weeks. So middle toward the end of July. It appears that July might be a very dead month from what I'm seeing right now, but I can't guarantee once we get to August things are going to get really rough and really
Well,
ugly,
can I say
unfortunately.
something?
Sure, go ahead, go for it.
Well, I think that May is going to be a more active month than June, of course, because it's already had the formation of Bonnie and Colin in the exact same day. Actually, one day after each other.
Yeah, one day after each other. From what we see right now, in terms of development wise and more uh, long streaming systems, more intense systems, more hurricanes, I should say. I really don't think we're going to see anything like that in July. I don't think the conditions are quite there yet. Sea surface temperatures, the sea surface temperatures are definitely there, and I do want to show you all that right here. As you can see, definitely the Gulf of Mexico sea surface temperatures are more than warm enough. As you can see right here, we do have temperatures of 30, 31 degrees centigrade. Very, very, very warm there in the Gulf of Mexico. I think as this continues to warm up throughout the rest of the hurricane season, we're going to start to see, and definitely once we go into late July into August, I think this is going to be, unfortunately, a pretty ugly time for the hurricanes. Just to see right here, 30, 31 degrees centigrade. 29 degrees centigrade in the northern Caribbean, 27, 28, 28 and a half, and even spots of 29 and maybe even 29 and a half degrees centigrade there in the main development region. So the main development regions are really warm. The Caribbean is warming up nicely. You know, you do have a spot of 27 there, probably 26 there. But definitely the entire Gulf of Mexico, 30, 30 and a half, maybe even as hot as 31 degrees centigrade there in the Gulf of Mexico. So I do think that the Gulf of Mexico is definitely more than warm enough to produce a major hurricane in terms of sea surface temperatures. And I think once we get into August, the storms are just going to just fire up and be really, really crazy, unfortunately. I think it's going to be a bad season. Right now, it's been quiet, it's been a slow start. We're now through our third name storm. Not a lot happened with it. It was just third name storm, Colin. Not a very well developed system, falling apart now. And I do think it's going to become a tropical depression and eventually a tropical wave. It's going to become a remnant low and just really fall apart. Do you have any
Ari,
comments?
Ari Central, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, can you tell us about the impacts you felt from Bonnie?
Well, I felt like some heavy rains and stuff, and like, yeah.
Was there any flooding in Nicaragua?
Yeah, there was.
Was it bad? I mean, I assume it was bad. It's flooding. When is it not bad?
Yeah.
All right.
Why do you keep muting your mic?
Okay, so I do want to bring up some more satellite images here. Bring this over here. Gotta get out of this. All right, let's take a look at
Ari
some.
Central. Ari Central, how do you think Tropical Storm Bonnie would progress as it is in the open sea in the Eastern Pacific? How do you think it would intensify?
Like, I don't know if it will intensify. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Do you have a reason of why you think it might not intensify? Do you have any reason why you think it? Do you think there's a possibility of it not intensifying?
Aria, can we talk after the stream?
Yeah, of course. We'll talk after the
Okay.
stream. So with what I think here, I do think this. Personally, I think this isn't going to intensify. Just based on the side images, you can see there's deep thunderstorm activity. There's lots of lift in the atmosphere. There's a lot of thunderstorm activity. There's a decent amount of convection near the center circulation. Towards the north, it does seem kind of dead, oddly. I think as this continues to move away from the coast of uh, Central America, it's going to really fire up, and it could even become it's expected to become a hurricane, and even maybe even reaching Category 2 hurricane at 85, 90 miles an hour, still Category 1. 96 miles an hour is where Category 2 starts, so, maybe 100 mile an hour. We may get a 100 mile an hour tropical system out of this. It depends on how fast it intensifies. We'll just really have to watch what this does as it continues to ride the coast of Central America. Do anybody in the comment on the stream, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can go in the chat below and you can ask us any questions that you wish that you have. Running out of things to talk about. There's not really a whole lot to talk about here. This is Colin, as y'all can see. It's a very, very weak. Looks like it's moving into the Carolinas right now. Not well developed. It's just falling apart right now, honestly.
Omar Essential, can you keep on talking about the impact that you felt in Nicaragua? I mean, why you don't think that Bonnie will, were you gonna, wait, what did you say, Arya?
I lost my train of thought, to be honest. I don't really know what to talk about. There's not a whole lot to talk about because really Bonnie's the only one that's producing any kind of impacts. Colin is just moving away. It's falling apart over the Carolinas. And we have the other system that made landfall in China. That's also going to be bringing a lot of flooding. And what's funny is, there were two Bonnies on tropical tidbits earlier. Chava is moving inland, still bringing a lot of heavy rain to portions of coastal China. It's falling apart very, very quickly. I think there's some mountains in China for sure. And with what we have with Tropical Storm Airy, its low level circulation is exposed. It's not really able to gain any intensity. From what we see, it may not even intensify anymore, and is expected to make landfall in Japan as a depression. So we'll probably not even do a live tropical update, live stream on that system if it makes landfall, and it's a depression. So we really need to talk about it.
We could possibly talk about the new wave coming off the coast of Africa and the wave that is already in the Atlantic, closer to the Leeward and Windward Islands.
It's near Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. It's near Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and Haiti. Let's talk about that wave.
Well, it's not going to be doing a whole lot. I'm going to scroll down and show y'all what we are looking at. I think it's really going to mainly just sort of fall apart and collapse. There's not a lot going on with that at all, I don't think. Let me show y'all what we were looking at with that system. As you can see, there's a good amount of thunderstorm activity. There's strong amounts of shear. If anything, it's going to bring some heavy, good needed rain. I do believe that the people in the Caribbean have needed some rain. But from what we got right now, it's just going to fall apart. Bring some needed rain to the Caribbean. And after that, I do think the system's just going to fall apart and dissipate.
Now, but I think this looks way more organized than Tropical Storm Colin, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah, I think all it needs is just the wind speeds and
it's been organized.
They need to find
this wave became way stronger than how it was before.
Currently, right now, they're giving it a 10% chance of development in the next 48 hours and a 10% chance of development in the next 5 days. So there is a chance that it does develop, but there's basically a 90% chance that it will not develop, is essentially what they're saying.
Yeah.
Anything else I need to talk about?
What happened to Chaba? Chaba looks like it's disorganizing
It
slowly.
it made landfall in China,
Okay.
and it's
And
falling apart because of the interaction with land. Chaba's falling apart. Brought I think it peaked at, was it 80, 85 miles an hour when it made landfall. So it brought some storm surge, brought very very heavy amounts of rain, gusty winds, flooding for sure. It was a densely populated area. I believe some 60 million people were under a tropical storm warning at that time. It's freaking crazy. 60 million people, like what the hell? You know? So there was a huge amount of people that were under a tropical storm warning. It was affecting a lot of people. So I don't know the stats on the aftermath of that system. I also noticed was that an upper level low, I believe? That's in the south of Cuba. You see that area of rotation? Very interesting.
yeah, to the south of Cuba, right next to Cuba. That's
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. I just now noticed that.
yeah, it's definitely rotating.
Yeah, I think that might be an upper level low. I'm not sure. It doesn't. It's very, very broad, so I don't think it's at the low levels of the atmosphere. I don't know.
Yeah, and as you were saying earlier, this strengthens it. If this makes its way into the Gulf of Mexico, it could have a chance of developing
Yeah, possibly.
because the water is very warm there.
Yeah, the water temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico are 30, 31 degrees centigrade. So that's like what, 86, 87, 87 and a half, almost 88 degrees Fahrenheit. So the water temperatures are like really warm. Earlier, we actually saw in the extreme northern Gulf of Mexico, off the coast of Louisiana, it actually peaked at 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Some areas, some small areas, were reaching as high as 92 degrees Fahrenheit. But when we had Invest 95L, it kind of cooled those water temperatures down. But you can see those water temperatures are rebuilding, and we're starting to get hotter water temperatures once again.
Hmm. Yeah. In these months in the hurricane season, systems are just all over the place. You've seen a few systems really strengthening into becoming named or watched.
Correct.
If you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
99% 99.9% of the time these systems are just all over the place, and 1% of the times these systems in this hurricane season are actually developing.
Yep, I definitely agree with that statement. Um, Cairo, or is Cairo still here? I guess not. Is there anything else I still need to talk about before I end this stream? I've kind of run out of things to even talk about. There's really not a lot to talk about. I didn't realize how little there was to even talk about in this stream.
um I Where the storm is heading, there are some small islands out there. I think there are some small islands where the storm is heading out
Yeah.
there.
Uh,
We could just do what we did earlier, leave the stream running, just have the satellite image on
But
while
before we do that, I have an idea.
all right.
yeah, what is it?
Since our essential didn't introduce himself, I think that he should introduce himself right before we do that.
Yeah, our
All right.
essential. And please introduce yourself to the
All
Hurricane
right.
Watch channel.
All right. Uh, so my name is Our Central, and I am not gonna say my real name. I'm just using my username to tell you. And I am new to the Hurricane Watch team, and I am new to the live stream.
Yep. So are we just gonna do a live? How long of a stream do we want to do? I mean, I don't like all night. I kind of need help with the thumbnail because the thumbnail is still from earlier. Alright, well, for now, I'm going to put on some live satellite,
I
hopefully.
think that's pretty much it with our voices.
Yeah, there's really not a lot to talk about if I'm being honest. Sorry if you can bring that up that high. There's really not a lot to talk about. There's nothing really impacting land anymore. There's just this, we have this system here, which is, as you can see, is quite quickly and obviously moving away from the coast of Central America. That's the main focus right now. Every other system right now is just, just moving, is just not a big threat to land.
Yeah, so you could just leave the satellite running, and we could go about our business.
Alright, first I'm going to do this. Is going to be off. Then 85, 85, 85, and 85. Okay. I'm going to turn my camera off. Alright. And now I'm going to turn on my satellite. I don't think there's another skill for this.
Am I just
Say what?
when are you gonna put the stream on the 24 like the loop thing?
I'm about to do it right now. I'm just gonna put the music on the background, and that
Okay.
will be it. So y'all can leave the call if y'all want or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's really not a lot to talk about right now.
Cairo, could I call you after?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my ears itch. Okay. Alright, get it on to the channel. Don't even need this on. Hopefully we can get our subscriber back. Oh, playlist. And this, I think we're gonna do. It should be playing without any friggin' problems.
Wolf Ray A104 will definitely go supernova sometime in the next few 100,000 years. Supernova. Supernova.
Alright guys, so I do want to talk a little bit about what's going on here with Tropical Storm Bonnie. As you can see, I do think we're gonna start to see a little bit more convection, and I do think that, let me just turn this on. And I do think that we are, as you can see, there's going to be a lot of convection here. And honestly, we're getting a lot of convection throughout this entire, really this portion of the storm. We're seeing a lot of convection. And I think that's going to start wrapping around the center circulation. And we're going to start to see an eye and an eye wall try to develop. But right now, currently, I believe that the system is just, trying to organize itself a little bit more and really intensify. Right now it's at 50 knots. According to Tropical Tidbits, that's about 60 miles per hour. I will be answering questions. I do want to talk more about this system, which I need to do. A little bit more about this system. I actually want to try to change. Dang it. Sorry about that. Control T. Yeah, there you go. I do want to see if there is a... There's not a mesoscale? Sucks. Nope, I don't like that at all. Just wish we had here, traditional. This is traditional. This is dirty. This is CO2. You know what that means. This is ozone. This is deep moisture, so deep that you can see right through the clouds, which don't make any sense. I guess the convection's so deep that it goes off the scale. But that's nice. I'm trying to see different ways I can do this. Just trying to go through all of these, figure out which one looks the best. Swirling looks kind of weird, not gonna lie. Cloud particle size. Cloud top phase. Infrared. Traditional. Infrared dirty. Infrared. This is traditional. I think traditional looks pretty darn good. I really see the top and the conductional system. There. Let's see any comments, questions, or concerns we have. Yeah, it kind of does. Why does it look like Tropical Storm Bonnie is have an eye wall starting to form? I think that's just, it is sort of trying to create an eye wall, and I really think what's going on right now is the deep thunderstorm activity starting to wrap around the center of circulation, and it's trying to create an eye wall, a deeper center of circulation that is more well defined and more developed on satellite. Yeah, I can imagine. Definitely right here along the coast. It's very hard to really see the coast, but I think I'm just gonna guess the coast is doing something like that. All right, I'm just gonna guess. I don't really know exactly. Trying to come up with the right words. I don't know exactly 100% where the coast is, because on WSP3, for whatever reason, it doesn't show the coast, and it can be a little bit frustrating and annoying. But that's what we have right now. I do believe that that's what we have with that coast, and I do think, yes, very, very heavy amounts of rain are falling in Nicaragua, Honduras area. Yeah, with heavy winds for sure. I mean, really in these bands, you can really see that deep thunderstorm activity in these bands right here. It's convective burst, the CB, also known as a convective burst. You probably definitely have, gusty winds, 40, maybe even up to 50 miles an hour. So you got the tropical storm force winds right here along the coast as this is continuing to move away from the coast. If anyone has any comments, questions, or concerns, why does it say there's two? I'm a little confused. Alright, we now have a tropical depression Colin. I kind of forgot how to pronounce it momentarily. I'm going to get out of this right quick. And I'm going to go over here. National Hurricane Center. So we do have tropical depression Colin now. It finally is just falling apart. It's no longer a tropical system, but here we go. Colin, weakness or tropical depression. All coastal warnings have now been discontinued. So there it is, 60 miles an hour, ladies and gentlemen. At 10 p.m. advisory, Bonnie strengthened some more. Heavy rainfall expected across parts of Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and the southern portions of El Salvador through the night. So something we're going to have to consider to watch and closely monitor. As of 10 p.m. Central Time, 3 o'clock UTC, here's the latest information. Oh, I still haven't gotten, my UTC stuff is still broken. I didn't fix that. I'm sorry. Not cool of me, right? Now it's working. Yeah, kind of. Not particularly what I wanted for my stream, but that's what we got right now. So it is not 60 miles an hour. Minimum central air pressure is down to 997 millibars. So it's really pretty decently strong right now. Here you can see as it's at 10 p.m. It is expected to become a hurricane here. By tomorrow night, it could easily become a hurricane. Again, those winds are at 60 miles per hour. And it's expected to become a hurricane here relatively soon in the near future. That's not what I'm looking for. That's kind of weird. As you can see here, 75, 80, 70. So, it's expected to continue to intensify into a hurricane, and we'll continue to be closely monitoring the development of the system. Hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. We will be doing tropical weather updates. We do tropical weather updates across the entire world. This does include the East Pacific. This includes the entire world. We will also be doing the West Pacific also. Oh crap, I meant to go to the tropical tidbits. If I can can do this right. There we go. Like to see people here from all over the world. Really, really, really cool stuff. But yeah, I can kind of see the center circulation deep, really very, very deep thunderstorm activity. Very high cloud tops right there, as those are going to start wrapping around the center circulation right there. I do want to go over here into visible shortwave. You can see a really convective burst. It looks like an eye-like feature, or the eye is really starting to develop. I do think this storm is really intensifying and becoming a little bit more robust right now. See, why does it say there's 2 tropical storms Bonnie's? One of them in... Don't know where you're seeing that. There's only one Bonnie right now, and it's in the Pacific. It transitioned from the Atlantic to the Pacific because the low-level circulation survived. Therefore, the low-level circulation, or if the low-level circulation survives, it will move, and it moves into another basin. It will keep that name. Tropical Storm Bonnie is a category 1. Well, if it was a hurricane, it would be called Hurricane Bonnie, wouldn't it? But as you can see, very deep thunderstorm activity. I do definitely expect to see this continue to intensify. Very heavy amounts of rain. As you can see, lots of convective bursts continues to move across the El Salvador region and portions. I want to say that's Honduras. I think might be Mexico. Yeah, that's Honduras. Okay, yeah, Mexico's farther up west. But there you can kind of see zoomed out version, and you can easily see the eye beginning to develop. Very, very, very incredible system right here. But this will become a Category 1 hurricane, most likely by tomorrow. I think by, once we get into tomorrow, even by maybe even tomorrow morning, the 7 a.m. update, when I do the 7 a.m. update tomorrow morning, I do think that this could become, could possibly be a Category 1 hurricane. Now, I don't want to do this stream all night long. We do have bandwidth, we do have to save up, but I will be doing this update here tonight. And I will be bringing this to a close here probably in the next 20 minutes. So this will close off at about a 3-hour stream. So wait, no, I want 2 tropical storm. Now there's only 1 tropical storm Bonnie. It's in the East Pacific. It is trying to create an eye wall, as you can see there, where we have the most ferocious and most intense winds at about 60 miles an hour right there. And it's trying to develop an eye, I believe. But we're going to see that eye come and go because we're going to get lots of deep thunderstorm activity. And then this is going to kind of come and it's going to go. And we're going to see this a lot. But right now at about 60 miles per hour, this is going to continue to intensify, unfortunately. And it's going to continue to bring heavy rain towards, even though it's Costa Rica, portions of the east coast of Nicaragua, Nicaragua, Honduras, this is Guatemala. This is Honduras. This is El Salvador. This is Belize. This is Mexico. That's what it is. I do apologize. Sometimes I do get confused between the countries. So that is what we have right now. I'm going to go back to WSV3. There are no radar sites. I don't think there are any radar sites in this area. I can actually see a database of publicly accessible weather radars across the entire world. I do believe this part of the country is very sparse. I won't say sparsely populated. I guess I got sparsely populated with radar sites. No, actually, dang, there's a lot in El Salvador. There's like 5 in El Salvador compared to some countries. There's like none. Where's this? Hold up. I need to. Sorry, this is kind of complicated right now. I'm gonna bring up tropical tidbits because I need to get an idea of where this tropical system is currently located, so I get a better idea of where the best radar site would be for me to position it. So here's El Salvador. I mean, really, any one of these here along the coast of El Salvador would really be alright. So it really looks like the same amount of radar. Can I do a... Dude, is there a way to do full screen? And also, is there a way to speed this up? Radar image is 60 kilometers. What about this one here in Mexico? Are there any in Guatemala? There's only one in the entire country of Guatemala. I'm just trying to figure out what I have to work with here. There's not a lot I have to work with here in terms of radar. Oh, hold up. Maybe I should get rid of some of these other stuff going on in the background. Maybe the website no longer exists. Hold up, it's loading. 165 kilometers, that's quite some range. I want to take a look at reflectivity. I'm surprised that some of this is even in English. Well, maybe it translated it automatically. That's always a possibility. Yes, Tropical Storm Bonnie is at 60 miles per hour for any of those who are curious and interested. No, Jamaica will not be affected by Tropical Storm Bonnie at all. Jamaica will not see any effects from Tropical Storm Bonnie. Oh man, I don't have access to that. I mean, it's alright. Okay. There's a few of these right on the edge of Mexico, right here, which will be really helpful. There's this one, Cabos, I think it's coming up, Cabos, I pretty much tried a lot of these, and they are alright. As you can see, well, I don't really like what I have here. It's really hard to tell what we're looking at. To be honest. Does anybody have any other comments, questions, or concerns regarding the development of Tropical Storm Bonnie? I do think I'm going to end this here pretty soon, here in about 10 or so minutes. I do need to do some other stuff, but this is what we have here with Tropical Storm Bonnie. Again, winds are at 60 miles an hour, and the storm is continuing to intensify over the eastern Pacific as it continues to ride the coast of Central America, right off the coast of El Salvador. I had to think about that for a second. I don't know how many hours it will let me do. So here is, I know it's kind of blurry, it doesn't look the best, it's kind of grainy. If we had a high resolution satellite right now, it would really look nice, but at this moment, we don't have a high resolution mesoscale satellite for this area. Yeah, no, there's no high resolution mesoscale. So I'm looking here. Go 16 mesoscale 1, mesoscale 2. You have Go 17 mesoscale 1, mesoscale 2. That's what we have right now. How long could Tropical Storm Bonnie's pressure go? Oh, how low? I'm sorry, I misread that. Well, if they're expecting an 85 mile per hour hurricane, well, we'll definitely see the 990s. I'm gonna go with 985 millibars as a. I'm gonna go 990, 985, 990 millibars. Just depending on what we're seeing here, depending on the strength and how the conditions right now. I'm gonna say between 980, 985 to 990 millibars. That is my prediction, personally. The lower the air pressure is, the stronger the storm. And so when you're looking at some of these more powerful systems, let's just take for an example, the one I know off the top of my head right now is Hurricane Maria in 2017. One of the more famous ones there in Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, did a lot of damage. I think it was down to 908 millibars. So that's an extremely low air pressure. When you look at Tropical Depression Colin, see, I did it again, Colin, they're off the east coast of the United States. It's like at 1,014 millibars. It's very, very disheveled. It looks terrible. It's very disorganized. It's a tropical depression now. You look at it and it looks terrible. And the air pressure is 1,014 millibars. That's actually higher than the average air pressure at sea level, which is at 1,013.25 millibars. Any other comments, questions, or concerns? Alright, I'm probably gonna, put some music on here for a few more minutes. My prediction. Okay. So I'm going to put some music on, bring this to a close, and that's gonna do it for tonight. Because right now it's, it's pretty late right now. If I'm being honest, we've been shooting for about 3 hours roughly. That's pretty long, and that is a very decently long stream. So that's me for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'm just gonna put some music on in the background, and then if you have any other questions, we'll go from there. I'll answer your questions. Also, we do have a Discord. If you are interested and you want to join, you can. There you can, ask questions. We have a team that will be there to answer questions and walk you through the steps of what to expect from the system. We will give you our predictions. We'll give you our thoughts on the system, what we think as a team is gonna happen with this system, our predictions, where it's gonna go, the kind of impacts you'll see through El Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, southern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Mexico, Cabo San Lucas, the Baja California Peninsula. We'll give you our predictions. That will be in the Discord chat. It's a Discord link will be in the description for you to join. There's an entire section there just for you to ask questions in that area and to ask the team questions. So yeah, that's that. I do think that you should join it. I would recommend it. Well, 955 millibars at 130 miles an hour. Hurricane Harvey was 130 miles an hour at 937 millibars, so I do think the air pressure will be a lot lower. I would say at the 950 millibars, that's about 115 to 120 miles an hour right there. 100, even 110 miles an hour, I could probably be pushing down to 950 millibars. Alright, I'm going to put the music back on. everybody, that is going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for staying here, being here, and enjoying the stream. We highly appreciate everything and the views and the support. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. It is like 10 o'clock. Feels like I'm like early in the morning. Honestly, I'm so tired. I will try to do another stream tomorrow morning. Yep, there it is. It just updated. Clearly, y'all can see images. It is the 50 knot wind field of about 60 miles per hour, as you can see there. There it is, 60 miles an hour, 997 millibars, 16 miles per hour to the west. But that is what we got right here, guys. Thank you guys for watching. That's me today, guys. I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning. As always, stay safe. Peace out.